Welcome to the Nerdy Dad Podcast. My name's Levi Bullard, or DM Dadbot on social media. And now that we're 7 episodes into the Nerdy Dad Podcast, we need to talk about something. We really need to be true to ourselves here, and I'm not that knowledgeable on Star Wars. That's just plain fact of what it is. So we're going to be focusing this podcast on Dungeons and Dragons. Now, before you click out of here saying that's all I was here for, we're still going to be covering Star Wars, but we're going to be doing it more with interview style podcast episodes, and we're going to be talking to people who truly know their craft, where we can talk about things such as Star Wars, Doctor Who, Harry Potter, different types of anime, and I don't have to try to squeeze out everything I know and read from a script. Definitely hope you understand that the only reason we're doing this is to help improve the quality of the stream and the quality of the content that you guys are receiving. Now let's get back to this episode. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about humans. Now humans are very simple. They're basic, and you guys can probably understand what a human is, because you guys are most likely a human. Now, in D&D, obviously it has different mechanical means, but what does that mean to you? First, we're going to talk about what you might not know about humans, and then we'll break down their mechanical features. So, humans are very adaptable. They're very ambitious. They do a lot. They kind of mix a lot of the traits from other races, but to a very extreme scale. Some blame this on the short lifespan of humans, believing that they have to go all out in order just to kind of accomplish what they need to. Because we know elves can live, up to 750 years, and I think dwarves are near humans, they're 350 years, according to the player's handbook. So, and if that's true, humans definitely need to strive to achieve as much as they can within that time frame, especially if they want to achieve, anything such as lichdom or anything like that, because you really got to work for it. Now, humans come in literally all shapes and sizes. You get ones that range from what they say is 5 feet, but I think you can get a little bit shorter, to upwards of 6 to almost 7 feet tall, weighing from 100 pounds to 300 pounds. I don't know why I counted backwards, but we did it. Their hair colors can be all different sizes. They're different, shapes, wavy, curly, different poofy, different ears, all of it. And that's not common amongst most D&D races. Most of them, you might have a couple different pigments or a couple different types of hairstyles that they have, or types, but not humans. Humans are a wide variety, and that is represented in their broad spectrum of colors, shapes, and sizes. Individually and as a group, humans are adaptable opportunists, and they stay alert to changing political and social dynamics. And they are probably one of the most integrated races in D&D. You'll find that they accept so many other races into their societies, as well. You might not find a lot of humans being accepted into other solely like dwarf societies or solely elf societies. So they're a lot more accepting. Not to say they all are, but they're more accepting than a lot of the other races. So whereas dwarfs, when their clans stumble upon a sacred site, they might devote their entire clan to that site and protecting it. Humans will set up an institution for that. An organization or something that's made to do that will last for decades and decades, and they can continue on and do their own thing, or continue to do that same thing but in different locations. That's something that is different with humans as far as other races, because they will build those different institutions where they don't dedicate themselves and their whole family to it. It's just a certain group or organization that they'll leave in charge. And I think that's a very cool and interesting idea, because you don't think about that a lot. You don't think that the dwarfs will dedicate their entire lives to this sacred, temple. Every different generation is going to be devoted to this temple. But that's not the same thing true with humans. They can choose whether or not they want to. And I mean, it's represented in our society in real life. Alright, so now we're going to talk mechanics, human traits, the racial traits. So they get an ability increase to each one of their stats by 1. That means all of your stats are increased by 1. That in and of itself is an amazing thing to do, and that's a huge mechanical advantage. Humans, just like most races, get their average 30 feet of walking speed. They can read, write, and speak common and one other language of their choice, which is basic, but I mean, that ability scored 1 to each is insane. You also have the variant human. The variant human is exactly that, a variant of a human. So think that if you were maybe in the south of America and it's pretty warm or humid and you're sweating down there, you're not going to have the same build as somebody who would be maybe in the snow of Greenland. They are definitely going to be adapted differently than you are. So that's kind of what the variant human is a different way to tweak it and make it to something else, a different climate, a different biome, some type of environmental thing. Now with that, they get 2 different ability score increases by 1. So they don't get a +1 to every single one of their stats. They get 2 stats with a +1. And that's because they also gain a proficiency in 1 skill of your choice, and you gain 1 feat of your choice. And that's right from the get-go. Now, the thing with feats is not all DMs even allow those. And with the variant human, you need to check to see if your DM allows that too. But in all, that's what the human is. That's its stats, that's what they make up, that's how they're built. They're essentially adaptable, ambitious, and very resourceful class with very awesome mechanical features. So don't pass up a human if you just think, oh, that's boring. It could definitely help you out. And if you think that maybe the human is a little boring, check out your variant human after checking with your DM first. Alright guys, if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below or find me on any social media. That again is DM Dadbod. And until next time, what race do you want us to cover next? Dwarfs? Elves? Tieflings? Let us know.